Hello y'all! Long time no see. I moved into the new house and I forgot to film me putting up my bookshelves because I was in an angry mood. Rage built this bookshelf. Can't tell if the box is crooked or my phone is crooked. Give me a sec. It's my phone. This is better. This is Bella. We are babysitting her. She's so cute. Okay. Hop down. So today I'm going to be talking about my reads of last year, 2017. I have my two lists. This is the list of all the books I read last year with their ratings. I set myself a goal to read 25 books last year and I read 24. 4 of these were rereads, and then I have my other list, which is my ranking list, which only has 20 books on it because I took off the rereads. Oh my god, you guys, she's chasing her tail. So, let's go. So, we're starting at the bottom because things get better when you go up. Coming in at number 20 is The Graces by Law Eve. It was real bad in terms of writing, characterization. The plot was alright, but I gave it a 2 out of 5 stars. That's pretty low for me. I don't generally give scores that low. Number 19 was Wayfarer by Alexandra Bracken. This book was the biggest disappointment. I feel like so many characters were out of character. All of Nicholas's plot was just the most boring thing I've ever read in my life, and it was most of the book. The ending was nice though, so I'll give her that. A 2.5 star. I filmed a book talk on it and it was just like a rage fest and I didn't feel like spending any more time on it, so I never uploaded the book talk. Maybe one day. I still have the footage. I look really pretty in that video. In at number 18 is Queens of Geek by... Who's it by? I was gonna say Jenny Han. I've never read a Jenny Han book in my life. Jen Wild. This book is super cute. I like the plot. I really like the diversity in it. However, it just like the whole time reading it, it felt like I was reading a 30-year-old trying to be a teenager with like, that just like has never spent any time with a teenager. I'm sure she will get better. Hopefully she's read reviews and is like, oh, I should fix things. So I will probably definitely be reading whatever book the author puts out next. It's nice. It's a good book, but it's like not a good book. And I gave that a 3.5 star rating. So at number 17 is Everything Everything by Nicola Yoon, which is in no terms a bad book, and it is technically a better book than some of the other books higher up on this list. However, it's just like, it was nice, it was cute, but it just like didn't hit the right spots for me. I thought, wow, that sounds sexual. I gave it a 3.5 star rating. It was good. Not the greatest book I've ever read, but it was good. And next up from that is a graphic novel. What? I've never read one of these before. I think it's just like a collection of comics. I read it in like an hour and a half. It's Zodiac Star Force by Kevin Panetta and Paulina Ganucheau. This was fun and I want the next stuff. This is a bind up of 4 comics. So this one's called By the Power of Astra. I had a problem with it in the way that it just sort of like starts off, because it started off as like an advertisement for a comic book store, and then it evolved into a webcomic somewhere. There's like a brief history of it in the back, but it still like doesn't quite explain everything. I felt like I was missing parts, so that's why this is kind of low on my list. I did give it a 3-star rating. The art is so stunning and I just liked it a lot and I want more of it. It reminds me of Sailor Moon. And number 15 is Binge by Tyler Oakley, which is his biography. I really enjoyed this. I gave it a 4-star. I listened to the audiobook. And then next up from that is The Selection by Kiera Cass. Now, like, this is pretty high up. It's number 14. I know a lot of people hate this book and are probably throwing up over the fact that I put it up higher than Everything Everything, but I really enjoyed it. I couldn't put it down. Then up next from that at number 13 is Acco War. A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J Maas. Now, this is still a really good book. I think I was just expecting a lot from it because I had had a whole year to theorize about things that were happening in it, but also I know Sarah rewrote the whole thing in a few months before she put it out, so it seemed kind of messy for me, but I did love it. I am very ready for the next installation in that world. I gave it a 3 stars. I gave the selection 3 stars as well. And next up from that is All Rights Reserved by Gregory Scott Katsoulis? Greek names, man. Is he even Greek? His name is Gregory. So I enjoyed this book a lot. It took me a long time to read it because I was just not setting aside reading time. But I feel like if I had have set aside reading time, I would have read it really quickly. I really like the concept. My favorite thing about this book is that it's dystopian, but it's not any dystopian that we've seen before. Number 11 on the list is Stardust by Neil Gaiman. This is the book that one of my favorite movies is based on. I loved it a lot. Neil's writing is out of this world. Next up was The Diviner's The Lair of Dreams. I listened to this on audiobook, which is how everyone should listen to these books. It's fucking outstanding. This narrator, her name is January. I forget her last name, but she's so good at reading. The series is by Libba Bray. The 3rd one is out and I still need to read that, but I cancelled my Audible subscription because I have a lot of subscriptions to things. Oh, 10 was The Diviners. Okay, so now we're getting into the good shit. Number 9 is Caraval by Stephanie Garber. I love this book. It was like super whimsical and I want the 2nd one. I had problems with it, obviously, because it's at number 9. I gave this a 4-star rating. Wow. I loved it. It probably should be higher up on my list than some of these other books, but there is something holding me back from like being like, this is one of my favorite books of all time. At number 8 is Nevernight by J. Kristoff. I need to read God's Grave immediately. It's really good. And Jay is the most lovely human being, and the whole time he was promoting God's Grave, he was campaigning for people to vote yes for same-sex marriage in Australia, and I love him. And he looks like Dave Grohl. Number 7 is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I heard a lot of people were saying that Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom was better than the Grisha trilogy, but I feel like those people are lying because I love Shadow and Bone so much more than I love Six of Crows. There's so much magic and I love it. I need to read number 2 pronto, but I don't have it. I think from here on in, every book is at least 4 stars. Number 6 on my list is Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. I read this on audiobook, so Lin-Manuel Miranda was reading to me and it made me emotional, the connotations my brain has with his voice. And there's like Hamilton references in this book. Before Hamilton the musical was even out, he makes his Hamilton references just like that, and it's hilarious. Like, who's it by? I don't know who wrote this book, but here's the name. It's very good. Just read it. 5. We have Tiny Pretty Things, which is, it's like Gossip Girl meets the movie Center Stage, and it's so good. It's not, I'm sure it's not everyone's cup of tea, and it's not like technically the best book in the world, but I liked it a lot, and I bought the 2nd book and I need to read it pronto. Maybe that's my word this year, is pronto. Get a new word, Michaela. Number 4 is The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. I put off reading this book for a really long time because I don't love Maggie Stiefvater as a person. I mean, I'm sure she's great. She was being really pretentious towards Halsey, even though Halsey didn't do anything. She just wrote a song and people were like, I think you should listen to this song because it goes with your books really well. And she got mad about it. And I was like, okay, chill. That's a bit immature, but I will say that her books are amazing. I mean, her book. I haven't read the rest, but I love it. It's magic, and I love Gansey so much. And Noah. So I started reading The Dream Thieves. I got halfway through and I had to take it back to the library. I need to buy it, and I need to finish reading it. and then I need to buy the other 2 books and finish them. Number 3 is Midnights by Rainbow Rowell. This is my favorite Rainbow Rowell story that I have read to date. It's a short story and it's so lovely. It reminded me of 90s romantic comedies. I'm talking like When Harry Met Sally, Nora Ephron movies. That's what it reminded me of, and I really want to make it into like a short film. That would be great. Number 2 on my list is a biography, Talking as Fast as I Can, From Gilmore Girls to Gilmore Girls by Lauren Graham. Well, I love this woman so much, and I was just like crying the whole time listening to this on audiobook, and it just like really warmed my heart, bro. And at number 1 is The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yu. When is her 3rd book coming out? I need it. There's some minor characters in that book that just like I'm so attached to, and I love them. That's why it's at number 1, because the writing is outstanding, the story is cute, and just like it made me cry a whole bunch. And that is my list. I hope you like it, and I hope this video isn't too long, and thank you for watching. And next up will be what I'm planning to read in 2018. And wow, I need to stop saying and just say bye.